welcome into today's vlog. So we're gonna get this started off on a personal note. One of the things they don't tell you about entrepreneurship is when you take it really seriously and you're trying to grow your business and you're working hard and you're working long hours and you're working on the weekends, it takes a toll on your health. And I have high blood pressure. So what we're gonna do right now is check in and see where that blood pressure is at. Over the past couple of days, my readings have been high. And yeah, it's a little concerning for sure. So I'm just trying to focus on that, eating healthier foods. Obviously, you guys know I exercise 6 times a week, so that's not a concern. I would say I just gotta continue to focus on probably having less caffeine and eating healthier foods. But let's see where I'm at today. Whenever I do this, I get white lab coat syndrome, right? So like I get nervous as I'm doing this. So like often I'll be like, I'm like breathing to try to like relax myself. But let's see. Okay, way better. Blood pressure is way better than yesterday. Yesterday I was 136 over 94. Crazy, right? Today I'm 130 over 87. So always like to do double the readings. So I'm gonna try to do this one more time. Yep, all right. 130 over 87. All right, let's go ahead and kick off the vlog. Here's what we're talking about today. I am not kidding when I say this, but NLCA almost went out of business. You guys have been following me along on this journey, which very much I am grateful for. I appreciate it. I hope you guys appreciate my transparency on entrepreneurship and how hard it is. But man, we were at all-time highs, right? We were making multiple millions of dollars. We were absolutely dominating it. And then we got the carpet just pulled right out from under us. Both of our best Instagram accounts got shut down. Our call bookings dropped 77%. Our revenue dropped 55%. As a result of that, I had to lay a bunch of people off. It was madness. It was chaos. I wasn't sure if NLCA was actually going to make it. Like literally, it was a daily thought. I was like, man, is this business going to make it? Are we actually going to be able to pull through? April, first profitable month of the year. May, second profitable month of the year. We have strung 2 together. Let's freaking go. So what I want to share with you guys in today's vlog is all of the things that I think have led to my resilience, right? In entrepreneurship, if you're listening to this and you're an entrepreneur, you are gonna go through many hard times. I've been doing this for 9 years. I've had the highest of the highs, I've had the lowest of the lows, I've had the mids of the mids. And the thing that pushes you through is your mindset. So what we're going to talk about today is mindset and how to develop the mindset of an entrepreneur to be able to continue to push through these hard times over a long time horizon. A lot of people get into entrepreneurship, they do it for a short while. It's not for me. I've been doing this shit for 9 years. I got some skills in between these years that I want to share with you guys. So let's get into it today. Alright squad, I'm really excited for this vlog. I'm excited to talk about this topic. Like I said, I literally thought my company was gonna crumble. I was already starting to think of like what are different business ideas that I could come up with. Obviously, you know, I committed to saying, hey, we're gonna get this turned around. But when things are going really bad, like I would be lying if I said in my back of my head I wasn't thinking about different options. But I don't think we are out on the other side of this completely. However, I do think that we are starting to get out on the other side. I think we are starting to build momentum here and get past this very trying time in my company. And I'm excited to see what the next 6 months have to offer. But there's a lot of value that I want to provide for you guys here. And entrepreneurship's fucking hard, man. So these are the things that I think have helped me stay resilient during this very, very trying time in my career. Probably the hardest time in my career. The first one is having high standards. So that is point number 1. All right, now, there have been times in my career where I've had ridiculously high standards, and those are the times that I'm most successful. And then there are times where you get a little bit comfortable and you don't even catch yourself getting comfortable in this way, and you start letting little things slip, not just in your professional life, but in your personal life as well. And once you do that and that compounds over a certain amount of time, guess what? Results are going to go down. Eventually results are going to go down. So one thing I told myself when NLCA started to crap out and we had to rebuild the company, I told myself I'm going to have ridiculously high standards. If I showed you on my desk, I even have post-it notes on my desk that say keep high standards. I have post-it notes on my mirror in my bathroom that says keep high standards. Now, the biggest piece of advice here that I have is generally I have really high standards on the big things, right? Like the bigger picture things, the movers and the shakers in terms of the business, the movers and shakers in my life. I have high standards on all those things. But what I told myself is I'm going to have high standards in everything, right? So even the little things. And I'll give you a couple of examples. Yesterday I was reviewing a project that my staff member did. And I caught some little errors that if this individual just reread their work or looked over their work, they probably would have been able to catch. Old me would have said, it's not a big deal. We'll just continue to push forward. But this new version of me called it out and said, hey, look, this was missed, this was this, and this was missed. If we just took a couple extra minutes, reread our work, right? These little errors, these little details wouldn't have happened, or these little errors wouldn't have happened, right? So I'm holding a standard, I'm holding the line, and that's how you gotta view it in your head. You gotta draw a line in your brain, and you gotta say, hey, this is my standard, and nothing is gonna cross this line. Because if those little things start to cross the line, guess what? You're fucked, right? You're moving your standard, right? The line has to stay in the same place. The line cannot waver, shit cannot pass that line. It doesn't matter if it's big, it doesn't matter if it's small, right? And like I said, it's not just my professional life, but I'm holding higher standards in my personal life as well. I'm drinking a lot less, I'm eating a lot cleaner, I'm working out a lot harder, right? Previously I worked out 6 days a week, but now I'm pushing myself. I'm holding myself to a standard of intensity inside of the gym. Fuck, I can even ask Caitlin, but I'm holding a standard to cleanliness in our apartment, right? You guys saw maybe 2 vlogs ago, I called out Caitlin on an aspect that was dirty in our apartment, right? If I see a little crumb, I'm picking that shit up. And I got this from Andy Frisella, and this could be helpful for you guys as well, but every time you pass, like let's say in your apartment and there's something dirty, every time you pass that thing and you choose not to pick it up or you choose not to clean it, and this doesn't just apply for your apartment, but it applies for everything. Every time you see a detail missed and you decide, hey, I'm not gonna correct that detail, you are taking a withdrawal from your discipline bucket. Right? But every time you see a little detail that's missed and you correct that little detail, you're doing a deposit into your discipline bucket. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying hold high standards. If you want to be resilient in entrepreneurship, you have to have a standard. You got to draw a line in the sand. That line cannot waver, and you gotta deposit into that discipline bucket and not withdraw. So that's point number 1. If you want to be successful and have resilience in your business, you have to have high standards. Do you want to share what happened to you this morning? As you can see, her phone works very well.
Yeah, so it is my own fault. I did have a case on it when we got back from New York.
After you dropped it.
After I dropped it. However, it was working fine, and then this morning I think what happened was I might have got like a little water in here, and because there's a tiny crack there, I think that's what.
How'd you get water in it?
Just from my coffee, I think there's like water because it's so hot here. So hot here that my coffee was sweating.
So now you're going to get a new one?
Yeah.
Where are you going, Mom?
It's not time to leave, it's time to cuddle.
It's time to play. Why are you leaving? Where are you going? I don't like this.
I don't like it at all. It's very rude.
Mila, you're stuck with me.
What am I supposed to do with you?
Well, you're gonna work. Oh, she turned her head.
I don't like working.
I hate working, guys.
I actually have better things to be doing with my time. Like being cute and retrieving things to eat.
She's so small.
Yeah, she really is.
When I zoom in.
You're so tiny.
When I zoom in, she looks big, and then when I zoom out, she looks tiny.
You're so tiny. You're a tiny little baby Frenchie book. You baby buggy.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, Mom. Bye, sweetie.
We'll see you later.
I'll see you soon, okay?
Okay, Mom.
You be good for Dad?
I love you.
I love you.
Yes.
Oh, I love you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. I love you.
I'll see you later.
Oh, no.
Well, depending on how long it takes, maybe like an hour or so.
Okay. All right. Love you.
Okay, love you.
Don't go.
I'll be back, sweetie.
Oh no, I'm so angry. It's just your mom. She just left.
All right, gang, point number 2. So another thing that I think has helped us be resilient during this time and get NLCA back to starting to winning again is living a life that is boring and living a life void of distraction. I live pretty much the same day every single day, and I know that's probably not sexy. I know that probably doesn't make you want to do that, right? Like, that's not a motivating or inspiring thing to hear, but it is a real and true thing to hear. My days, I go to bed at the same time. I go to bed around 9:30. I wake up at 5:30, and then I do my morning routine. I start work. Once I'm done with work, I work out. Once I'm done with working out, I hang out with my wife, and I do it over and over again. And then on the weekends, Friday, usually I'm done with work around 6, spend the evening with my wife. Saturday, I do a little bit of work, but spend majority of the day with my wife. Sunday, which is today, I'm majority working until like 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I hit the gym or I play pickleball and I hang out with my wife. So my days are very similar. I live what would be considered a boring lifestyle, and I try to eliminate as many distractions as possible. I don't hang out with friends a ton. When I do, we're not doing anything crazy. We're not partying, we're not drinking, we're just, hanging out. And the reason I do that is because I'm trying to create my lifestyle to lead me to my goals. And I know if I want to build this big business, I know if I want to have this big life, I got to make a lot of sacrifices, and I have to be very disciplined, and I have to treat this like a profession. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So I think another reason why we've been able to get out of this very hard time, this time that would have crushed a lot of businesses, and now we're starting to stack wins, is the lifestyle I live is conducive for success. All right, squad, it is 1:49. Man, we've been cranking today. I've been working since 7:30. So what is that? 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. 6 hours on a Sunday. Come on now. All right, so next thing that I think has helped with my resilience during this really hard time, and man, I can't even believe I'm saying this. Like, 12 months ago, or even 6 months ago, I probably would have never said this, but putting my trust and faith in God, putting my trust and faith that there is a higher being out there that is leading me down the right path, understanding that the challenges that I went through and the challenges that I'm still currently going through and the challenges that I will go through in the future are all for a reason. It's all for a greater purpose. It's all for me to learn something. And I'm also going to tie this in with another point. So not only putting my trust and faith in God, and that God is going to put me down the right path, and that I'm going through these challenges to learn and grow so that I can move into something big, but the other aspect of that is, if you're going to believe that the challenges you're going through in life are for a greater purpose, then you also have to believe that your life is going to have a greater purpose. You have to have this false sense of reality. You have to have this crazy belief that by the end of your life is going to have stood for something. Your life is going to have meaning. Your life is going to change a lot of other people's lives. It's going to leave an impact, a legacy. And that's something, and I shit you not, that's something that I've believed since the age of 15. The age of 15 is when I got into personal development, and at that time I knew that my life was going to mean something. I knew that I was going to do something extraordinary. And if you have that belief about yourself, and you have the belief in God, that God's going to help you through challenges, and you have a belief that your life is going to be extraordinary, that is what can get you through some hard times, right? That is what can get you through some hard times. And although my spiritual path, my spiritual journey is new, it definitely has helped me. Every single day I've prayed. Every single day I've read the Bible. Every single day I put my faith in God. Every single day I believed that, hey, I'm going through this for a reason. And that reason is going to catapult me into something, not me adjusting the thermostat as I'm giving a speech here, but that this is going to catapult me into something great, that this is going to catapult me into helping a lot more lives and change a lot more and make a greater impact. So that is my third and also fourth point kind of wrapped into one. Put your faith into God when you're going through hard times, and you got to have a big vision. You got to continue to have a big vision, and you got to believe that your life is going to be grand, that you are going to do something extraordinary with your life. All right, just got back from pickleball. Look at that freaking sweat line right there. In Austin, Texas right now, it's already 100 degrees. It's already like 90, 100 degrees. It's absolutely terrible. Caitlin and I are already talking about moving next year, not out of Austin, but we're talking about living 6 months out of the year and moving each month. So like not actually renting an apartment, not having a house, but just buying Airbnbs, a new Airbnb every month, and traveling the United States to find like the perfect weather for the perfect month and go to that location. So I'm super excited for that. I'm gonna be able to vlog that as well. But look at this shit. Freaking crazy.
I'm angry, pissed off. What the heck? No one's cuddling me. No one's playing with me. And I think I want dinner.
You already ate.
I already ate dinner. I actually want to go outside. So bored. This weekend sucks.
All right, I got one more tip to give you guys, which I'm gonna give you guys in about 30 more seconds, but it is Sunday evening and I want nothing more but to be laying right there eating some good food. So one more tip, the vlog is almost over. Let's do it. All right, y'all, so the last tip on being resilient, actually, I think all of my Post-it notes are gonna be the last tip here. So the first Post-it note, and I write these, like as I'm going through shit, I write these, like all these are relevant to what I'm going through, right? So the first one here is humble yourself. No one wins performing less than their best effort. You need to be all in. Business, family, spiritual, fitness, mental, all of it, commit. And that's what we talked about earlier, right? Like if you are going to be resilient, if you are going to be somebody who can push through hard times, then you have to build yourself into that person, which means that you can't just be good in one area of your life, right? You have to go all in. You have to commit to all aspects of life. So that's this one here. All right, let's do this one. So this one here, you aren't in business to be liked. You are in business to win. All right, I think this is a big one. I think a lot of individuals right now do things to get liked, right? They post on social media to get liked. They try to become an influencer to get liked. But they don't do this shit to win. All right, there's not enough individuals who are thinking about winning and developing a winning mindset. And if you want to be resilient in business, if you want to win in business, you got to make sure that you're taking action for the right reason, right? You got to take action to make sure that you are winning for you, winning for your clients, and winning for your team. This is always a big one. All right, what would an 8-figure CEO do? You got to find that question. You got to find that question that gets you to really think beyond who you are, right? So if you're into CrossFit, a lot of people say, what would Rich do, right? Rich Froning, that's referring to Rich Froning, the 4-time CrossFit champion, right? And it gets you to think like, oh, what would Rich do? And then you align your actions with that, right? So for me, I ask myself this question when I'm going through a hard time. I say, what would an 8-figure CEO do? And then I do whatever comes to my mind. All right, next one here is serve. When you're going through a hard time, it's very easy to look inward and focus on yourself and get selfish. But at the end of the day, you are here to serve others. All right, next one here. And biceps looking good, let's go. Next one here, you get what you tolerate, right? So in business, a lot of times you create your own problems. And a lot of your own problems come from what you tolerate in your business, right? So having high standards. And then we've already talked about this one, but let's double up because I think this one's the most important. Keep your standards high.